Okay, so hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon. Thanks for joining our class data analysis using R programming. And today we are on the session 5, and over here we are going to discuss about variable declaration. Okay, so up to this point what we have discussed, let me give a little recap so that you will all will be on the same page. Okay, so we have discussed in our previous class about R programming, what exactly R programming is, and we saw the R software and their different windows, what exactly it includes. Like for example, editor window, we have console window, we saw environment, we saw connections, history tab, and the plotting tab. So we introduced with this particular our software in much more detailed, and also we have seen that how we can utilize our R software as a calculator. So you saw that I run few commands, like for example if you wanted to perform the sum of the observations, multiplication of the observations, or maybe division, multiplication, or whatever the general mathematical functions like logarithmic, like exponential, sine, cos, tan, any trigonometrical operation. So these things we have performed in our previous class, and we are comfortable with this particular concepts. Okay, so these things is comes under the power of R, which is called as R used as a calculator. Now in today onwards, since we are going to learn this R programming, so to do the data analysis. Okay, so in the data analysis activities, you know that we are not playing with the kind of the actual real values. Instead of that, we are playing with the variables over there. These values are being stored. So, like for example, suppose if you wanted to do analysis on the age, like for example, you wanted to calculate the mean of age, standard deviation of the age, or maybe you wanted to perform any statistical test on this particular age variable. Right. So you are performing that operation into the age variable. Okay. So all the values automatically become into this particular variable. Okay. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about this particular part, that how you will declare the variable and how you will play with the variables. Okay. So before starting with today's session, so let me introduce you about variable. Okay. So what is called as variable? Okay, so variable is nothing but entity, okay, in which you will store the values. Okay, in which you will store the values, or you can say it's a physical location into the memory. Sorry, it's a virtual location into the memory. Over there, our value is being stored. Like for example, you if you are in a survey and you are collecting the age of the peoples, gender of the peoples, or any other details of the peoples, right? So where you will store these things into a variable, okay, into the computer, and this computer is nothing but can be accessed by the variable name. Okay, so like for example, person's id is 101, then their age is maybe 96. Okay, then this person will be stored into the age variable as a 96 and id as a 101. Okay, so this is general philosophy about variables. Okay, so now again, why variable is important? Okay, so firstly, I discussed about what variable is. Okay, what is variable? Okay, so you saw that it's nothing but uh, uh, physical virtual location, okay, which is kind of storing some values. Okay, it may be store one value, it may be store multiple values. Okay, it depends on the nature of that particular variable. Like for example, if you wanted to store a single value, then this variable will only have the single value. But if you wanted to store or maybe create a name of this particular locations, okay, multiple locations, consecutive locations, then this will be store multiple values. Okay, so what basically I am telling, okay, so like for example, suppose you are having a is equal to, okay, a is equal to 2. Right now, what basically we are doing here, so we are storing 2 in the a. Okay, so a is the variable name, and in this variable we are storing 2 as a one value, right? So what basically it is doing on the concept level, right? So because you know that system is computer is nothing but a electronic device, right? So everything whatever we are doing, we are storing anything into this particular machine is being stored in the electronic format. And you know that electronic format is what? Just the situation or state of the current, right? It may be the power on situation, or it may be the power off situation, right? So how you will convert these things, like for example, a is equal to 2 into the machine language, okay, so that machine can understand. So machine will convert this 2 into binary systems. Okay, binary system is what? Binary system is nothing but two valued things, right? For example, 1 and 0, it's only have two states, either power is on, 1 is called as power on, 0 is called as power off, right? So 2 is converted into 1 and 0 format, and 1 and 0 format will be stored into the memory into in the form of electronic signals, right? So A is telling what? A is telling about the particular address of those things. Okay, how you will named it. So like for example, suppose if you are living in a village, okay, or living in a city, okay, so city is has their name. Okay, why name? Because it's an indicator that this is the well known name, okay, by which it will be known to other ones. Okay, so like for example, if I'm living in a one state, so anyone can easily understand that I am belonging to which state, right? So same here, the concept is like 2 will be stored into the memory, then where the memory store this value, this will be named as A, so that anyone can easily understand that A is the position over there 2 is being stored. So this is the concept of variable basically, right? So now why variable? Okay, so now another question is that why variable, right? So why variable? So again, this is the deeper concept. So for example, suppose if you wanted to play with simple values, like for example 2 is to 2 minus 2, or multiplied by 4, or maybe division by 3, okay, whatever it is, right? It depends on you, right? So if you are having a simple values, sometimes it maybe you are having some this type of values, you can perform some numerical operation in that way, right? For sure you can perform this numerical operation, right? But in general, when you are going for data analysis activity, you are not having such kind of values, because you are having a huge set of values, right? Instead of the single values, okay, one or two values, you are having a set of values, right? So if you kind of just multiply those things, divide those things, or maybe calculate the mean of those values, right? So you need to just write all those values, okay, at multiple times, and can perform some operation into it. That is not feasible every time. That is not feasible every time. So like for example 2, 4, 5, 6, these values are there. So if you need to write these values 10 times, okay, it would be difficult for you to write, or maybe your code will be much more lengthy, okay, and even this can be done into your notebook. Then why you are moving to the programming? You moved just because of that these things can be easy for you, right? So what you will do, you will store those values into the variable, and wherever these values will required, okay, wherever these values will required, just to call this variable at that place, automatically these values will be copied there. Okay, so like for example, suppose I have values like a is equal to 3, let's say, okay, so wherever it required, let's suppose I am doing some programming, let's suppose on this line again a is needed, okay, so simply I will write a, and I will perform the job. Let's suppose maybe I wanted to perform that a multiplied by 2, okay, this will work it, okay, why? Because a is previously defined variable, okay, and a is has their own value, and what is the value is 3, right? So when 3 is needed, you can directly call this a, okay, and a, since a is storing this value, so a will be treated as a numerical value, or whatever the value you are storing into this particular variable, this will use as is for the calculation part. Okay, so that is why a variable is needed into the programming language part, right? So now how you will define the variables? Now another question, when you comfortable with that why variable is needed, now how variable will be defined? How variable will be declared? Okay, perfect. So in R, okay, in R there is a multiple ways of assigning the variables. Okay, there is a multiple ways for assigning the variables. Okay, what are those ways? So the first way is that just to use equal to sign. Okay, equal to sign. So equal to sign is basically called as assignment operator. Okay, this is called as assignment operator. Okay, assignment operator, and also you can use this arrow sign. Okay, arrow sign is called as left assignment. Okay, and this arrow sign is called as right assignment. Okay, so why, what are the meanings of those? So I will tell you one by one. Okay, so equal to assignment operator, most of you already been exposed. Okay, because many of you is from mathematics background. In the mathematics, always we are taking some values, and when we are taking the values, we are just assigning it into the equal to form. So like for example, you will assign the value a is equal to 2, right? So here what I am doing, I am just assigning 2. Okay, means in the a variable I am just holding the value 2, right? So this is a very simple concept. Now coming to the second part, over there we are using left assignment. Okay, so it means that whatever the value will be in the left side. Okay, so like for example 2, so if 2 is there and wanted to store into the a. Okay, so in this way you can specify. So here it means that 2 is going in a, it means that a is having value 2. Okay, it means that 2 is going to a, it means a will hold the value a. Okay, so in this way whatever the value is written into the left side, this will be stored into the right side variable. Okay, now again this is the another symbol right side. So over here, right, so the variable will be in the left side, and assignment will be from right side. Okay, so like for example 23. So in a, in the first part, okay, a will hold the value 2. In the second part, let me make it 5. Okay, in the a, in the second line, okay, a will hold the value a. Okay, but this value, this is going in this way. Like for example, a will be assigned to 5 will be assigned to a. Okay, now in this way I can say a will hold the value 23, right? So these are the three method how you can use this particular variable part. Okay, that how you will hold the values into the variables, right? So let me store some values and perform some operation into it. So like for example, suppose I have x is equal to, okay, x is equal to maybe 2. Okay, and y is equal to maybe 4, right? So I will just perform the mathematical calculation like x plus y. Okay, so I will run it. Okay, how I will run it? Control plus enter. Okay, just to use control plus enter from your keyboard and run it, right? Control plus enter again. So you can see that whatever the line I am running, using the interpreter concept, each and every line is being run. Okay, and coming to into the console part. Okay, and whenever I run it, automatically it is going into the virtual memory as well. Over there it is storing the value, right? Same thing when I run y is equal to 4. So there is a one variable y is created into the memory, and into this variable 4 is stored, right? Now if I will use calculator like x plus y, okay, I wanted to perform this operation, right? So what it will do, it will call the value x from the memory, and it will add into the y, which is again calling from the memory, right? So x plus y will give me some value back, right? 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. You can see here. So here what we are seeing, 2 is coming from x, 4 is coming from y, and x plus y is equal to 6 is coming, right? Now again, you can store this particular calculation into another variable. Okay, so like for example, I can store this variable into this way, z is equal to x plus y. Okay, in that way, again, z variable is created, and z variable will hold the value of the result of this x plus y and their operation, right? So currently if you see here into the environment window, right, so x is a variable which is holding the value 2, y is a variable which is holding the value 4, and z is a new variable created which is holding the value of x plus y, which is 6, right? So this is the one way of just declaring the variable and using this variable into the operation. Now same thing I can do by using the right assignment operator. So like for example, left assignment operator first. Okay, so this I will do in this way, x and arrow, and then 5. Okay, sorry, y, and I can store this x plus y, sorry, x plus y arrow to z. Okay, so why, what it will do, maybe I can change the value so that you will understand it, or maybe yeah, 4 4, yeah, that is good. So here if you see x, okay, x is automatically been updated, x is equal to 22, right? Now I'll run it, y is again, it is changing to 44. Now x plus y to z, okay, So if I will run it, then this automatically will be updated, right? So here x is 22, y is 44, and z is coming the sum of those two values as 66, right? So this is the another method of just using the variable, right? Now coming to the third way. So third way is like, for example, just to use this assignment operator. Let's suppose value is 3, and similarly y is equal to 6, let's say, and z, and assigned with x plus y. Okay, so if I will assign x is equal to 3, y is equal to 6, z is equal to 639. Okay, so you can see into this environment, x is equal to 3 now, y is 6 now, z is 9 now, right? So these are the three way how you can assign the variables. Okay, so equal to sign, okay, and this right assignment, these two are most important, or you can say most widely used operator. Okay, but sometimes we use this type of variable declaration part as well. Okay, but in most of the times during my sessions, or in general when you are just referring to any study material over there, you will see that either it may be assigned using the equal to symbol, or it may be assigned using to the right assignment operator symbol. Okay, so this arrow symbol is nothing but called as assignment operator, right assignment operator. This equal to is also called as equal to operator, or you can say equal assignment operator, and this is called as left assignment operator. Okay, remember this part. So up to this point, anyone have any question or any doubt? Anyone? Everything is clear? Can anyone confirm? Okay, so I'm hoping that you all are understanding this concept. Okay, so maybe let me move ahead, and but for sure, if you have any doubt, any question, always raise your hand, or maybe you can put your question into the chat as well. Okay, so now the another,
Yeah, hello.
yeah, and so yeah.
Yeah, please. I think when you were getting to the part you were explaining why you prefer one of them, either the right and left assignment or the equal to. I think that part was a little flickering. I don't know if I was the only one who experienced that. I didn't really get that part.
Okay, so in general, like since these three are the way how you can assign the variables, okay. But in general, when means most frequently, like if you refer any study material, or in general, which I will cover into the sessions, I will use this equal to symbol, or I will use this arrow symbol. Okay, so in general, because this is not that much used, okay, this is used some for some specific purposes. Okay, and this is not so easy, because in general in the mathematics we saw that we generally have the values on the right side and variable into the left side. Okay, so by default in our inherent mind we are having such kind of notations, such kind of operations. Okay, assignment operations, right? So we use generally equal to symbol and arrow symbol, these two symbols, not this that much times. Okay,
Okay, thank you very much.
yeah. Okay, perfect. Now coming to the part, one most important part which you need to remember, so which is called as case sensitivity. Okay, so each language has their own specified grammar. Yes, each language has their specified rule. All right. So in R programming, the case sensitivity is the most important part you need to remember, right? So what it means by case sensitivity? So for example, suppose if I write age in this way, and age in this way, and age in this way, and age in this way, right? So all four ages are different, right? But in literature or in general, okay, as per our concern, okay, this age is this is nothing but age. Okay, there is no difference between them. But when you are dealing into the programming language, specifically in R, okay, so these all four are having their own different meaning. Okay, so this is called as case sensitivity. So it means that whenever you are defining the variable, you need to remember that this languages follow the case sensitivity part. So in which case the variable is, if you are storing the value, use that particular variable so that you can perform the operations. Okay, so what it means by, so let me tell you, let me use it and let me tell you, right? So like for example, suppose x is a variable. Okay, so maybe I can clean all those things again. List is equal to ls into the environment window. Okay, now, and let me clean this part as well. Now let's suppose if I use define a variable like x is equal to 3, okay, and y is equal to 5, okay, and I will use z is equal to capital X plus capital Y. Okay, so here x, small x is having value 3, small y is having value 5, and if I wanted to perform the operation is z is equal to x plus y. Over there x is in the capital form, y is also in the capital form, right? So what you will get, let me run it. Now it is telling me error into the console, and error is telling that object x not found. Okay, so what it means by, it means that the capital X what you had written over here, this does not specify, it does not have any value. Why any value? Because whatever the variable you specify x, this is in the lower case. Okay, so if anything is in the lower case, at that time if you use this in a uppercase letter, this will show you the error that this is not a kind of, this is not having any value. Okay, so this is the meaning of case sensitivity over here. So what you need to do, you need to change it and make it into a small x. Okay, now again if I will run it, then it is telling me y is not found. Okay, why? Because y is also in the small case, and here you are using in the up case. Okay, so I will make it into the lower case, right? So if I will run it, now you can see it is running without any error, right? So it means that x and y was defined into the smaller case. So in everywhere wherever I wanted to use the value of x, we use the value of y, you need to specify those things into the smaller case only, right? So this is the things you need to remember, and this concept is called as case sensitivity. Okay, perfect. Now, so when you are dealing the programming language, okay, I hope this part is clear to everyone. So I'm moving to the new topic, which is, yeah, please George, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Abe, please. Someone has their hand up.
Yeah, yeah, please go ahead, Inusa.
Thank you. Uh-huh. With the S and Y, I expected that once you run it, we are going to get the value for the Z. Right? It appears the Z is equal to S plus Y is showing. Any explanation to that?
Yeah. So, like for example, previously, like if I run this thing capital X plus capital Y, okay. So this is not running. So that is not creating, right? So since this is previous one, okay, this is the previous one. Don't let me remove it. Let's suppose z. Okay, so now
Mm-hmm.
x is having value 3.
Okay.
Okay, x is having value 3, y is having value 5, but these x and y are in the lowercase letter. So if I will perform the operation on the
Mm-hmm.
uppercase letters, okay, so this will show me the error. Okay, this and
Mm-hmm.
this jet will not be created, right? So if I wanted to run it, then I need to change these things into the smaller case letter. Then
Mm-hmm.
if I will run it, then z will be created, and this will store the value of 5 plus 3 is equal to 8 into this particular environment variable. Okay, perfect. So now coming to the new topic, which is called as variable naming convention. Okay, so why it is important? Variable naming convention, right? So firstly let me tell you about this topic, after that why it is important. So like for example, in general, because right now whatever the operation I performed in front of you, okay, so these are the very general operations. Okay, you are just dealing those things by using your mobile calculator or maybe your virtual physical, anywhere you can do this such kind of calculation, even though you can do such kind of calculation manually as well. Okay, no need to do thing, into using the programming language unnecessarily, right? So where you are using your programming language, you are going to use your programming language for your data analysis activities. Okay, over there you are having so many values. Okay, so you will create a so many variables, right? So if you create so many variables, so like for example you create x variable, you create y variable, you create z variable, you create a variable, you create b variable. Okay, so if you are creating the variable in this way, okay, x y z a and b, right? So sometimes, let's suppose if you write 1,000 lines of code, okay, suppose currently I write 42 lines of code, so maybe during your analysis activities you may write 1,000 line of code. Okay, so after 1,000 line, maybe sometimes you can forget that what exactly the meaning of x, what exactly the meaning of y. Let's say x is called as age, you are storing the data of age into the x variable, and y is storing the some other data values, what a z is storing some other data values. After sometimes you forget what exactly we store into the x, what exactly we store into the y. Okay, so sometimes it may create some confusion into you. Okay, so just to remove those confusion, okay, just to remove those confusion, what we are doing, we are uh, saving ourselves, okay, by before instead of assigning these type of variables, we are assigning the variables with their complete names. Okay, so like for example, suppose age is a variable, age is the value I wanted to store, so I will create the variable name as age. Okay, so if I will create that variable name as age, okay, so whenever I wanted to use this age, so I know that, yeah, age is just a age variable, over there age is being stored. Okay, so anyone can easily understand, even though you will also not forget that what is the variable over there I stored the age. Okay, because you give the name as age, so you will always remember it, right? So instead of giving this type of variable name, you will give the variable name into their full meaning. Okay, so if the variable name is, let me suppose we are having a very big variable name. Okay, you are capturing, like for example, socio-economic status. Okay, so like for example the variable name is socio-economic economic status, let's suppose. Okay, so suppose this type of variable, this type of data you are collecting into your questionnaire. Now if you wanted to store it, okay, so maybe you can shorten the name, because this is not the perfect naming convention. Okay, I will tell you that what are the different ways what you need to follow. Okay, how you will specify the variable. So for these things, you maybe you can just give it like eco status. Okay, maybe, right? So this is little bit meaningful to you. Okay, you can understand that it is asking about economic status, right? So this is a very short form, but this short form will help you out, you will not forget, even though the doubt will also not come, because this variable is itself having their meaning. Okay, and you understand this particular variable after so long programming as well, right? So for that purpose, we are not using very short variables like x y z a b c blah blah, right? Instead of that, we are using the full variable names. Okay, or at least the variable name length should be in such a way that it is meaningful, right? So like for example, the variable name was so big, but right now I just make the variable name in a very short form like eco status, so I can at least guess that this variable is telling me about the data of economic status, or you can say socio-economic status, right? So maybe like for example, gender transferability. Okay, transferability. Let's suppose this data I wanted to capture, right? So if you will give the name in this way, this will be a very bigger name. Okay, so maybe you can keep this variable name in a very short, like for example, gen okay, so at least you can understand the variable name. Okay, this is giving me some meaning, like this is talking about some gender and some transformation, so at least you can rough guess it that this is the variable over there we are storing that kind of data, right? So for that reason, a perfect, or you can say a meaningful variable name is very much important. Now, so you understand that why variable name is important. Okay, so if you understand why variable name is meaningful variable name is important, then now then another topic is that how you will give a perfect naming convention so that it will follow the general rule of programming. Okay, so basically this concept like meaningful variable name should be the variable name, right? So this is nothing but the concept of called as good programming practice. Okay, good programming practice, right? So always follow good programming practice. So under the good programming practice, what is coming? So like for example, see here, I'm always giving the comment. Okay, if I start any topic, I'm giving the comment, right? So everywhere wherever it is not needed, just text, just for your reference, I'm just giving the comment. Okay, and wherever any variable is I'm defining, okay, I will give this variable as a their self meaningful name. Okay, so these all things are coming under the arena of good programming practice, right? Now coming to the variable naming conventions. So what are the ways you can create the variable names? Okay, so there are just certain rules are there, you need to follow those rules, and according to those rules you will create the variable name into the R programming. So these rules are specific to the R programming, but since most of the programming languages working almost similar, right? So these rules are mostly rules are common to the other programming as well. Okay, but each and every programming language has their own defined way. Okay, then you just for learning some other languages, you can just see a little bit their rules. Okay, and according to that rule specify the variables, but I am covering here whatever the rule is working for our programming language. Okay, so the first rule. Okay, so what are the rule 1? Okay, so rule 1 is that a variable name must start with letter. A variable name must start with a letter and can be combination of letters, digits, period, okay, and underscore. Okay, so what are those? So like for example, the first rule is specifying. Okay, please be focused over here. Okay, so what are the rule? Just to remember, because these are the important rule you need to follow each and every day. Okay, so the first rule is telling you that a variable name must start with a letter. Okay, and can be a combination of letters, digits, period symbol, and underscore. Okay, so like for example, it is talking you about, like for example, it always be start with the letters. Okay, so it may be from A to Z. Okay, or small a to small z. Okay, in combination of maybe 0 to 9. Okay, with dot symbol and underscore symbol. Okay, so this can be the variable name. Okay, so let me write it. So for example, suppose I write it age is equal to something, let's suppose 23. Okay, so this is the perfect naming convention. Okay, so age is just a complete letters. Okay, but I can give like for example age 1. Okay, age 1 is equal to 23. So this also can be created. Okay, so also you can create like age dot is equal to 23. Okay, this can also be created. Similarly, I can create age dot maybe uh, st. Okay, is equal to 23. This can also be created. Age underscore st. Okay, this can also be created. Okay, this can also be created. So those are the way, or you can say create like for example age is equal to 34, right? So this is showing you the error. Okay, so it means that this is not following the variable naming convention rule. First rule it is not following. So what is the first rule? First rule is that it is start with a letter and can be in the combination of letters, digits, and period underscore, right? So it should not be start with the underscore. Okay, so this should not be stored with the underscore variable underscore sign. Okay, that is why this is showing you the error, right? It means that these are the valid variable names. Okay, these are the valid variable names you can specify. Maybe I can try this one. Dot is okay is equal to 34. This will took, right? It can start with the dot symbol, but this should not be start with the underscore sign, right? So these are the, this is the first rule, and in the first rule we saw that the variable name can be start with the letters. Okay, and can be the combination of any mathematical letters. Okay, mathematical digits like for example 0 1 2 3 till 9. Okay, and it can start with the period symbol, and it can be the combination of underscore symbol, but underscore will always be inside. Okay, or maybe in the last of this variable. Okay, so like for example I can specify age underscore, sorry, age underscore is equal to 56. Okay, this will created. A underscore can be come into the last, can be come into the middle. Okay, but it should not be always into the starting of this particular variable name, right? So this is the first rule what you need to follow when you are specifying the variable. Okay. Now the second rule is basically the second rule I already written. Okay. So but you need to keep this thing into your notebook. Variable name can be start with period symbol. Okay, can be start with. Okay, it is not necessarily they always be create this particular type of variable. So what it mean by, so like let's suppose I created age is equal to 56. Okay, this is a valid variable name. This variable is, this dot is accepted into the first of the variable name. Okay, so this type of variable you can create it. Okay, the third rule is also we saw, third rule we also saw, but maybe for your notes purpose you can create variable should not be start with underscore. Okay, this should not be start with underscore. So like for example, if I will create this, okay, this will not create and this will show me the error. Okay, so this is the general rule which you need to follow. Now rule 4 is there. Okay, so under the rule 4 what it is, so rule 4 is telling you that we need to follow the case sensitivity part. Okay, sensitivity while declaring variable name. Okay, so like for example, suppose age is equal to 34 is there, and capital age is equal to, you specify maybe 45. Okay, then each and every age is their own meaning. Okay, so each and every three ages are nothing but a different. Okay, so you can see in this way, right? So see here, age is coming in this way. Okay, age is small age is having value 34, and the first letter cap age is having value 45, and the capital age is having 56. Okay, so whatever the variable you are going to use into your operation, okay, this variable will be utilized. Okay, this value will be utilized on related to the specific variable, right? So this is the important rule, you need to follow it. Right, now the most important rule is rule number 5. So what this rule is telling, so in general whatever the programming language it is, so it is not local to the R programming, but it is common to each and every programming language. The most important thing is that keyword. Okay, so keyword, so each language has their some keywords. Okay, so keywords are basically a defined word which has their own different specific meaning into the programming language. Okay, so there are so many variables are, so many types of keywords are, right? So in general, like for example, we do have true. Okay, like for example true. So true is having their own meaning into the computer. Okay, into the programming language. Similarly, false. Okay, so false is having their own meaning, so you cannot create the variable name as a true, right? You cannot create a variable name as a false, right? So you cannot create the variable name as a null, right? So you cannot create the variable name as a function, right? You cannot create the variable name as break, right? So these are nothing but some keywords. Okay, so in you can google all the keywords, you can remember those keywords. Okay, but in general when you are doing your programming, so keywords are coming into the programming language in some different color. So like for example, whatever the things I am doing over here, all those things are coming into the black instead of the comment is coming into the green. Okay, but keywords are specific words which is coming into the blue sign. Okay, yeah, go ahead, George.
All right, thank you. I just want to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you are giving us the exception, the words that we should not create as variables, like
Yeah,
the true, the false, the null.
yeah,
We also saw from earlier discussions that they are case sensitive, variables are case sensitive.
yeah.
And I'm seeing the true or false and the null all in caps. So can we create a variable true with being a smaller case. Yes.
Let's try. Yeah, let's try. Very good question. So let's try. Okay. So like for example, if you specify this way, this will create. Why this is creating? Because this sense as per the case sensitivity rules. Okay, everything is bound up with their case sensitivity. So like for example, true, the reserved word true is specified into the computer, but this true is in the uppercase letters, right? So this false in the uppercase letter is as a keyword, but if you specify these things into the smaller case letters, okay, this will not be treated as a reserved word, right? This will not be treated as
It appears your line is breaking.
okay, okay, okay. So what George question is that, so like for example, all the keywords what I had written over here, some of the keywords is in the uppercase letter, some of the keywords in the lowercase letter, right? So in which way, okay, in which way these particular variables are specified, okay? So in which way these keywords are specified, these as it is will be treated as a keyword. Other than this, everything will be treated as a general word, right? So like for example, this function, okay, this function is written to the uppercase lowercase letter. So if I will specify this thing in this way, okay, in this way, this will not be treated as a variable, right? Because this is small case letter treated as a function, but this uppercase letter will be treated as a general word, right? So it is not necessarily that whatever the reserved words are there, okay, you can use them, but you can use them those things as a kind of there may be case changes, okay, you can make it in the lower case, maybe make some different letters, okay, so in that way you can use it, but it is generally avoided, okay, in general when we are doing the programming, in general we avoided such kind of a variable name which is named as a keyword, okay. So this is the very important rule you need to follow, right? That whatever the general programming language has the keywords, okay, so like there are just so many keywords are there, I can write few many over here, like nan, okay, like na, okay. So like for example, for, we are having for, we are having if, okay, we are having else, right? And maybe you are having while, and we do have do, or maybe repeat, right? Maybe break, okay, or yeah, so many variables are there, so many keywords are there. You can search it easily into the R programming, okay, and into the Google, and you will find the keywords over here, right? Also you can do what, maybe you can come here, right? So into the help window, and just type keywords, okay, and let's see whether it will provide me any help or not, okay. Yeah, right. So we are having so many keywords, okay, or you can say very specific topic over here, keyword, okay. So yeah, this is not providing in a very detailed way. Maybe here I can try to search. Okay, this package is being installing, okay, no problem. Yeah, yeah, maybe directly you can Google it, you will find the list of keyword names, okay. So I covered most of over here, okay. So since there is a list of variables, okay, list of things are in as a kind of a keyword, okay. So maybe you can go and check one by one, okay. So there is so many, so among this list now this is installed into my computer. So in the same way you can also do that, you can install this particular thing, you will see that so many types of learning material is coming, okay. So among them you can find out that which actually lecture is telling you about keywords, okay, you can cover it, and it there you will find all those details, right? So which is the keywords, and why you cannot create the variable name as a keyword, because you know that since keyword is has their own meaning, like true is having their own meaning. So if you specify, then it means that you are going to change the concept, okay. So since you cannot change the concept, okay, so you are not authorized to do the variable declaration using the keyword, okay. Let me try what it will show me the error, okay. This also be a good point, okay. Let's see. So it is giving me error. error in true is equal to 34. Okay, it is telling you that invalid do underscore set left hand side to assignment. Okay, so what it is telling that this true is having their own meaning, and in this own meaning, right, you are just interrupting or changing the value. Okay, so by default it is having value as 1. Okay, true is having their value 1. Okay, so if I will do this assignment again, right, it is not taking. Why? Because this is having logical one. Okay, this is not a simple one, but this is having the value as logical one. That is why you are not authorized to change its value. So it by default value is 1. Okay, I can show you why the by default value is 1. So if I will do true plus true, okay, so logical 1 plus logical 1, it will give me value 2. See here, like 1 plus 1 is giving 2, right? Similarly, if I will again plus add one false over here, right? If I will add one false, okay, so false is nothing but logical 0, so it will not impact at all. So 2 1 plus 1 plus 0, it means that it will give 2. Okay, so again if I will subtract it, it will not make any difference. But if I will subtract it any other true over here, so logical 1 logical 1 logical 0 and logical 0, it will give me logical 1, right? So in that way you can see that these all our values are having their own meaning. That is why these things cannot be treated as a variable name, right? So I hope this part is clear to everyone, right? So now coming to the roll number 6. Rule number 6. Okay, so like for example, what the rule is telling that apart from underscore and dot or period, okay, no other symbol can be used to define the variable, right? Other than these two underscore and dot symbol, okay, no other symbols will be used just to define the variable. Okay, what it means? So like for example, suppose I create e at the rate. Okay, so let me store some value into this. Okay, it will show you the error. And what is the error? It is telling you that this is underscore is basically this under ampersand symbol is not to understand. Okay, so because this is the special symbol, okay, this is the special symbol, and in the special symbol list we are authorized to deal with only underscore and dot. Okay, other than this no other specific symbol will be used into this variable declaration part. Okay, so like for example, a dollar, okay, a dollar, a and c is equal to 3. Okay, it will give me the error. Similarly, a dollar e is equal to 45. Okay, similarly if I will use a percentage is equal to 56, okay, it will show me the error, right? So these are the special symbols, and these special symbols cannot be used into the variable declaration part. So there is only two special symbols are allowed. The first special symbol is underscore sign, and another special symbol is dot sign. Other than this no other symbol is allowed into the variable declaration part. Okay, so these are the few very important rules, okay, you need to follow when you are defining any variable name. That is called as variable naming convention. Okay, perfect. So up to this point, anyone have any question, any doubt? Maybe we can discuss, or please confirm if you understand it. Yeah, please just go ahead.
Thank you. At what point do we use the parentheses?
The parenthesis is also called as special symbols, right? So this will also be not used. Okay, so like for example, a or maybe one parenthesis, right? So if I will use the value this, it will show me the error. In this way, if I will specify, okay, this will again give me the error. Or if you wanted to use this, okay, this will again give me the error. Okay, so nothing other than this underscore and dot, none of the other symbol will be used into the variable declaration part. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. Now,
Okay, please, Abe.
yeah, yeah, Chirkat, go ahead.
Okay, so in a case where the value that is defined, the this thing is defined by the variable is defined by is automatic can automatically change. So something like age
Okay.
or date.
Mm-hmm.
where you compute it, or you add some operations to a number of those variables, is it also likely to change?
Sorry, maybe Inusa, maybe could you please come again? Sorry, I missed some of the point.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm trying to ask is that, so for instance,
Mm-hmm.
A is equal to age,
Okay.
and then B is equal to maybe someone's age, another person's age.
Okay.
And then you know that where um, time increases, the age also increases.
Yeah.
Does
Okay.
that mean that if you say A plus B, that is people's ages
Yeah.
has
Mm-hmm.
changed, the A change automatically, B change automatically, will the operation also change? That is A plus B, will it also change
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This will also change. Yeah,
automatically?
This will definitely change. Yeah. So, like for example, suppose
Okay.
yeah, if you are just having value like a is equal to 23, okay, and b is
Yes.
equal to maybe 23 again. So, if you are having value like z is equal to a plus b, okay, z is equal to a plus b, then whatever the value you are having, maybe you can see here a is equal to 23, b is equal to 23. Now z is equal to 46. You are having, right. So, if you change the value by one, okay, maybe you are approaching 1 year again increase, so you are increasing over here 1, right. So if you run it and if you run it again, then z will automatically change here. It will show you the 48 other than 46. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
perfect. Now coming to the another topic which is called as operators. Okay, so operators. So there is a few types, different types of operator we are using in our programming language. So this is the last topic. Let me cover in only few minutes. Okay, so what are the different types of operator we are using? Okay, so we are using majorly in five types of operator into our programming language. Okay, so first is called as arithmetic operator. Okay, arithmetic operator, and yeah, give me 1 minute time. So there is a different types of operators are there. So like for example, arithmetic operators. Okay, so arithmetic operators are those operators which are being used so just to perform any mathematical operations. Okay, so what are the different types of arithmetic operators? So like for example, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, right, and this percentage, and this division this is and this is parent. Yeah, this is okay. So these are the basically arithmetic operators. Okay, plus is used for addition, this is used for subtraction, this is used for multiplication, this is division, this is integer, basically this is integer this is simple division, and this is integer division, and this is called as modulus. Okay, so these are the different operation you can perform mathematically. Okay, so if you wanted to perform your arithmetic operation, then you can use any of them, these operators. Okay, so another operator is called as assignment operator. Okay, assignment operator. So I already explained you this part. So assignment operator of three types. One is called as left assignment operator, one is called as right assignment operator, one is called as equal to assignment operator, right. So these are the three ways of kind of assigning the values. That is why this is called as assignment operator. Third is called as comparison operator. Comparison operator. Okay, so what are the different comparison operators? So comparison operator may be greater than symbol, okay, maybe less than symbol. So like for example, you wanted to compare two persons age one is greater than age 2. Okay, so over there you can use the greater than symbol. Similarly, you can use the less than symbol, you can use the equal to symbol. Okay, this is called as equal to comparison operator, right. So whenever you wanted to compare two things, you need to specify double equal to, right. So like for example, a is equal to 20, b is equal to 20, then you can say a double equal to b. Okay, so like for example, suppose a is equal to 20 and b is equal to 22. Okay, means 2020. Okay, now you can compare those two things using a is equal to b. Now it will tell me yes, true, this is true, means a is equal to 20 and b is equal to also 20, then both a and b is equal. Okay, so in that way you can the comparison operator. So comparison operator can be of different types, like for example, greater than symbol, less than symbol, greater than symbol, equal to symbol, greater or equal symbol, less or equal symbol. Okay, so any of these symbols you can use for your general comparison operation. Okay, now another type of symbol, another type of operator is called as logical operator. Okay, so logical operator. So we are having multiple types of logical operator. One type of operator is called as single valued operator, and another type of operator is called as multiple valued operator. Okay, so like for example, suppose this and, okay, this and is used for kind of using a and b. Okay, simple one and one value comparison, one and one value operation, right? And this and will be used, double and will be used for performing the similar operation into the number of values. Okay, and similarly you are having this or, and you are having double r. Okay, so this is telling you about that any of the operation can be. Okay, similarly you are having not. Okay, so these five are the logical operators. These are having the different operations. So like for example, suppose a is equal to 2, or a is equal to 1, and b is equal to 1. Okay, so both are having the value 1. Then a and b will tell you that a is having value, b is having value, then a and b is also having value. See, it is coming as true, right? So this is nothing but a comparison. Okay, sorry, this is just telling you about the logical things. Like for example, if a is having value, b is having value, then a and b also having value. Okay, means value means some positive or some negative value instead of zero value, right? So if I will change the value, like for example a is equal to 0, okay, then you will see here it is coming me, giving me false. Okay, it means that some of the value is having 0, right? So in that way this will work, right? So if you are having like a is equal to 2, right? So a is equal to maybe let's suppose 0, then not a, you can have the different meaning. Okay, it will tell you true. Okay, because a is equal to 0, a is equal to 0 means a is equal to false, right? Because false is having the logical meaning as 0, that is why 0 means logical false. So if you are just changing the value, negating the value using the not symbol, not a, it means that not false, it means true, right? That is why it is giving you true result. Okay, similarly we will have some different types of logical operations. Okay, so like for example, sometimes you are comparing multiple things. So like for example, if person's age is 25, okay, and their citizenship is citizenship card is there, then this person will be eligible for voting. So over there what you are doing, you are comparing two things. One is their age, another is their citizenship card. Okay, so over there you are applying the logical and. Okay, this condition, the first condition and second condition, if those conditions are meeting, then this comparison will be succeed. Okay, and this will give you the operation value. Okay, so in that way you will use the logical operator. Now another type of operator is called as miscellaneous operator. Okay, miscellaneous operators are so many operators, I'll tell you about those. Miscellaneous operator. Okay, so miscellaneous operator is nothing but, so like for example you will have percentage in. Okay, this will be used to just check that a value is existing into the particular data or not. Okay, so like for example, suppose I just created a string. Okay, like for example I love R programming. Okay, so if I wanted to check whether R is existing into this or not, so I can check R percentage in percentage and this string, then it will give me true and it will search it and it will give me result. Okay, so in that way you can use it percentage in percentage. Okay, I'll tell you this part maybe when we start the topic of the string, or maybe whenever it required I will explain this part again. Okay, but for now this is also a miscellaneous operator. This is called as matrix multiplication. Okay, whenever you are going for a matrix multiplication you can do such kind of operation and you will able to perform the job. Okay, so this is all about different types of operator in R. Okay, so okay, that's fine. So maybe we are almost done with our class. So if anyone have any questions, maybe we can discuss, and next topic we will start from next day. Okay, so thank you everyone. So the floor is open for you. If anyone have any questions, maybe we can discuss now. Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation.
Yeah.
Okay, so every day we learn new things. We have not come to the data entry do, but once we have already spoken of variable situation, I think it will be necessary to get clear of this question.
Yeah, yeah.
Granted that we are dealing with maybe entry where we require true or false. For instance, maybe you have taken out a questionnaire and then within the questionnaire there was like true, false responses.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the respondents are expected to respond. Now they have given you the questionnaire and you want to enter it in R. I know in SPSS we could do what we call coding, and then we could assign some values to what represents true and what represents
Yeah.
false.
Mm.
Can we do similar thing in R,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
that
yeah.
we might not conflate the keyword used in the variable creation?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, very nice question. So, like for example, whenever we are designing any questionnaire, over there we are creating so many types of variables. Okay, so although this part I will cover in our next session, which is called as data types. Okay, so like for example, sometimes you are asking about their age, so the person is feeling that the age is numeric. Okay, sometimes you are asking with of their name, person is filling their name in the English words, okay, or some other regional languages. And sometimes if you are asking that are you married, okay, so people is just putting the value as yes or no, or maybe you are just giving the questionnaire like are you married, and in front of this question you are writing that true oblique false. Okay, so person is just checking it out. Okay, so each questionnaire is having their different data types. Okay, each and every value has their different meaning. Okay, so like for example, phone number is just a string value, right? Age is just a numeric value. Sex is just a string value or character value. Okay, similarly marriage status like yes or no, true or false, is just a logical value, right? So logical value will be stored in a logical variable. Okay, so maybe in our next class I will tell you about different types of data and how you will manage those
That
data into your programming. So this will come in our early coming classes. Okay.
would be interesting.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. Okay, so yeah, thank you everyone. So bye for now. But for sure, if anyone have any doubt, any question, always ping me. Okay,